Today, podcast reaches over 100 million Americans every month. Because of the growing popularity of this type of content, Google announced that it would start including podcast episodes in SERPs. That means that creating and adding podcast episode to your WordPress website can help improve your chance of ranking on Google and other search engines. The process is easy thanks to WordPress plugins. With the WordPress podcasting plugin, you can link your website with the hosting service that stores your podcast files. This allows you to embed a podcast player on your website, and many plugins also make it easy to create RSS feeds of your podcast content and submit episodes to leading podcast distributors. That's why we have carefully handpicked the 10 best WordPress podcast plugins so you can easily get started podcasting on your WordPress website. Blubrry PowerPress. If you want to build a powerful podcast site in WordPress, Blubrry provides you with the complete set of tools you will need. Its services include podcast hosting, podcast statistics, and the number one podcast plugin on the market, PowerPress. PowerPress is a powerful WordPress podcasting plugin that helps you manage your podcast files in WordPress. It creates iTunes and Google Play supported RSS feeds from your podcasts. It also comes with an easy interface where you can add all the information required to submit your podcast to iTunes. The plugin comes with simple and advanced modes so that beginners can get started with the simple mode until they have friendly with its interface and then switch to advanced. The simple mode has only the essential settings so you can effortlessly create your first episode and submit it to the Apple Podcast Network. And when you are ready, you can use the advanced mode to utilize all the robust options the plugin has to offer. Blubrry PowerPress is a completely free WordPress podcasting plugin. Second one on the list is Seriously Simple Podcasting. A lot of beginners just want to start their podcast without purchasing dedicated podcasting hosting or a media player. Seriously Simple Podcasting Player can help you do that. It allows you to manage and upload your podcast episodes directly to your WordPress site. Seriously Simple Podcasting is a free and easy to use WordPress podcasting plugin for beginners. It uses the native WordPress interface to allow you to add and manage WordPress podcast with minimal settings required. Using Seriously Simple Podcasting, you can run multiple podcasts from the same WordPress site. It features a newly redesigned media player where you can add your podcast cover, image and customize it beautifully. It supports both audio and video podcasting. It generates your podcast feed which is compatible with iTunes, Google Play and many other services. The plugin also comes with shortcodes and widgets to easily display podcast episodes throughout your website. The third one on the list is Podlove Podcast. Podlove Podcast Publisher is created by Podlove, an online community of users who want to improve podcasting standards. The plugin aims at offering cutting-edge solutions for podcasting issues that were not fixed by other available platforms. It supports multi-format publishing by embracing all modern audio and video codecs, and it comes with an enhanced HTML5 player to play your podcasts. To add your podcast files to WordPress, you will need to upload them first to an upload location like FTP, SFTP or Amazon S3. It provides easy and quick settings to add the uploaded file into WordPress and publish them on your site. Podlove Podcast Publisher is a free WordPress podcast plugin with the options of purchasing live support. On the number 4 is Fusebox. If you are looking for a plugin that not only makes your podcast pages look appealing but also provides transcription, then Fusebox will be your best pick. It helps you launch great podcasts on your WordPress site, which your listener will surely love. Fusebox is home to Smart Podcast Player, one of the best podcast player plugin on the market. It automatically displays your podcast episodes with a beautiful mobile-friendly player. Unlike other podcast player plugins, it offers a better user experience with a well-designed HTML5 player. You can add a mega player that loops through all episodes, or you can add a simple episode player. Fusebox is fully responsive so that your podcast will look great on all devices and screens. It has a speed control features so you can add multiple speeds for your podcast. Plus you can choose a color theme, light or dark, and custom color that suits your site's color scheme. The Fusebox WordPress podcast plugin has a free version and a premium version costing from $15.83 per month. And the number 5 is Libsyn Podcast. Libsyn Podcast is a popular podcasting service available on the market that includes the Libsyn Podcasting plugin and Libsyn Podcast hosting. Using the Libsyn Podcasting plugin, you can connect your website with your Libsyn account and start publishing podcasts with ease. You will be able to directly upload your podcast files to Libsyn from WordPress, which means your podcast media will not take up space on your WordPress hosting server. You can also add files from your WordPress media library. The plugin enables you to create podcast episodes, create podcast drafts, and schedule posts on your WordPress site. However, the plugin is in beta version, but it's still an interesting option you can use for WordPress podcasting. The Libsyn Podcasting WordPress podcast plugin is free but requires a Libsyn subscription to work. On the number 6 is Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is a powerful podcasting solution available on the market. Buzzsprout is a full-fledged podcasting service that lets you host and promote your podcasts. It's basically a premium solution. However, you can use it free plan for 90 days and host up to 2 hours of podcasting every month. Buzzsprout has a simple and easy to understand interface where you can create a podcast and add episodes. As you upload an audio file, it will automatically optimize the file with the industry's best practices. Then you can easily add your podcast to popular podcast directories including iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. The Buzzsprout Podcasting WordPress podcast plugin is free but requires a subscription to work at its best. Free options are limited to 2 hours per month, paid account up to 12 hours per month, which starts from $12 per month. Number 7 on the list is Simple Podcast Press. Simple Podcast Press makes it super easy to add a beautiful podcast player to your WordPress website. It helps you add your product from any of the podcasting platforms including Libsyn, SoundCloud, Buzzsprout, etc. Regardless of where you host your podcast, you can simply add iTunes URLs in WordPress to showcase your podcast on your site. After you enter the iTunes URL, it will automatically create a unique page of each of your product episode and adds a player along with images and a description. It also fetches the metadata, images and notes and adds them to each page with their player displays on top. The Simple Podcast Press plugins costs from $67 per year to $147. On the number 8 is Sermon Manager. Sermon Manager is the best WordPress sermon management plugin for WordPress. Made specially for churches offering online sermons via their product, this plugin has all the features a religious organization will need. The plugin lets you add audio MP3 files to your WordPress site along with speakers, series, topics, etc. Then you can add the MP3 sermon to iTunes directories to make them available for podcast listeners. Sermon Manager plugin is available for free to download in the official WordPress plugin repository. It's compatible with all the major WordPress plugins and any other WordPress theme. Second last on the list is Spreaker Shortcode. Spreaker is a popular podcasting platform where you can listen to the world's trendiest podcasts and also create your own podcasts. If you have a podcast on Spreaker, you can now easily embed it your WordPress site with the Spreaker Shortcode plugin. The plugin helps you add any Spreaker episode, show or user into WordPress. The plugin lets you add Spreaker podcasts with lots of configuration using shortcode parameters. And the final one on the list is Compact WP Audio Player. Compact WP Audio Player is a free WordPress plugin to add an audio player in WordPress. To add audio files in WordPress using the plugin, you will need to first upload them to an upload location. Then you can embed the audio files to your WordPress posts and pages using a shortcode. The plugin will display your audio files along with the compact media player. The plugin supports MP3 and OGG audio files. It allows you to configure autoplay options, loop, etc. The audio player is fully responsive, so it fits well with all types of devices and supports all the major browsers. That's it for today. We hope this video helped you find the best WordPress podcast plugin for your site. Which plugin you are going to use? Let us know about it in the comments below. And if you are new to our channel, subscribe and ring the bell for more top 10s and other tech related stuff here on SoftAsia Tech.